Hi, guys. Welcome back to Harping on the Past.
A Theater Kid podcast where we talk about theater, past, present, and probably the future.
Probably.
Hopefully, actually.
Yeah.
Because who knows what today we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. Jacob knows.
Sure, sorta.
Well, you said yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of said that, and it was more of like a lie.
You lied to me?
Because every week, it's always like, what are we talking about? And I'm like, Sheradyn, why don't you just know what we're talking about?
I did it last week with me and Tori.
You did? Oh my gosh, it was so good, too. I listened to the whole thing.
Did you like it?
I did. It was so much fun.
What was your
I
favorite
missed
part?
you guys being on the
gosh, I
couch.
miss you.
Honestly, so the beginning is just going to stick out to me the most when you guys were talking about shower thoughts or driving thoughts, and you guys
Yeah.
were talking about flying.
Honestly, I will always say fly. I
And
will.
it's because what is the normal question? Like, would you rather fly
No.
or be invisible?
No. It's if you had a superpower, what would your superpower be?
No. I feel like people are like,
That's what
would you
people
rather
ask
be
me.
invisible or fly? Like,
I mean, certainly that's a question.
yeah.
But that's not the one that I get asked the most. It's mostly,
Oh.
if you had any superpower, what would it be?
and you guys did slam telekinesis.
Yeah, because that's scary. You want to know what other people are thinking of you?
I meant more of like the moving things with my mind portion.
That's badass.
Not the
Not the knowing
not the
people's...
mind reading part, because that does sound terrifying.
Terrifying, right? Like looking at you and being like, oh, everything's great. But then like I can look into your mind and you're like, she sucks.
No, that would stress me out. But being able to move things with your mind sounds really cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool. My belly button itches a little bit. Sorry.
Thanks. The people needed to know.
I know.
We had to be honest.
Yeah.
Also, you guys, deep apologies for our lack of video.
Sorry.
The last 2 weeks we had the first week, my fault entirely. I was editing the podcast and it was looking so good. And then I ran out of storage on my phone where I edit the podcast, and the video just got deleted because I was not paying attention, and the main video said goodbye. I tried to get it back. Didn't happen.
The video said ta-ta for now.
And then the following week, which you guys can hear on the podcast, the camera stopped.
Yeah.
Because we
Well,
learned.
Because we didn't have Jacob's phone. Because we had to do one without him.
Yes.
So I said, I'm going to use my big camera. And I didn't know that it shuts off at 12 minutes.
And it's sad too, because like the quality of the big camera is beautiful. It's great.
It's so good.
Which we would love to keep using, but because of like the quality and all of that, we can only record up to like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And I, for one, am not a fan of, okay, let's stop, restart. Because we're a podcast. We like to just keep the conversation flowing.
Yeah, we're just going to keep it going.
So
you know?
I'm like, that's not going to work for us. So apologies to our YouTube listeners, because I know we have a few people who would much rather watch the podcast than listen. And I get it.
Same.
That's why we have the video element.
I mean,
for
I
that
like
reason.
watching podcasts.
Yeah.
You know?
So I've been watching Wizards of Waverly Pod with David Eloise and Jennifer Stone.
Oh my gosh, Tori said something about it last week.
It's so good. It's so much fun. And I was listening to it this morning. And here's a fun fact. And I'm like, this is theater related. So David Eloise, who played Jerry Russo, the dad on Wizards of Waverly Place, his parents were actors as well. And they were also on Broadway for a little bit. And David Eloise's mom was in Once Upon a Mattress on Broadway.
Who'd she play? Queen Agravain?
He didn't say who she played, but I was like,
What's her
that's so
name?
cool. I don't know her name. He just said my mom and dad. So I think his dad's name is Tom.
Tom.
That makes sense. Tom DeLuise.
Tom DeLuise, or is it a different... Oh, why would it be a different last name, Sheradyn?
No, that's
Jeez.
his dad. So
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if his mom went by DeLuise or if this was before they were together. So I don't know. But I just thought that was an interesting little factoid.
That's fun. Because
'Cause
we
I
love
love-
Once Upon a Mattress.
We love Once Upon a Mattress, as we talked about
Yeah,
in the prank war, and very sad that video didn't go up. But
I know.
that was such a fun podcast to record. I had a good time
I did too.
dishing that out.
I really think we need to start figuring out the Zoom element.
Yeah, because
Because we do have someone.
we have at least a couple people we know who have wanted to do the podcast.
There's someone else?
Yeah, lives in Florida. You went to his wedding.
Oh, yes.
At least he wanted to. I don't know if he
That
still
would be
does.
a really fun episode. He has some deep thoughts, some fun takes, and I think that would be a really interesting episode.
Let's do it. You know what? Let's make this goal for ourselves. Like
Okay.
next week or the week after that, let's try to get a Zoom,
A zoomy zoom zoom
a Zoomy
zoom.
Zoom podcast because I don't know how to do it.
Let's brainstorm it right now. What would we have to do? So obviously we have our setup.
We are so new at this.
So new.
We don't have okay. So many podcasts have incredible producers and editors
Editing
and
teams, yeah.
and all these people who know what they're doing. We ain't got none of that. We got
It's just-
ourselves.
You're looking at it like our team behind the scenes. It's us.
We figured out everything. We were like, okay, we need a ring light. We need.
Yeah, which I'm so proud of us.
I feel like we've done a great job.
And I think these mics, great.
the mics are great, but I mean, we still have audio issues.
Yeah.
Like,
I was
'cause-
listening to ours today and I was like, I thought I got all of it.
yeah, because we have to like literally like listen like so closely, and then because the audio will unsync for some reason, and then we have to resync it. It's a process. Like because like we have two separate devices that record the audio, and then we have a third device when we have a guest come in, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
So
But I'm wondering, so like, if we do Zoom, obviously we would be Zooming.
right. So
But
we'd probably need your computer,
Yeah. Oh.
and then like
I'd have to record on my phone.
your audio. Yeah, probably.
That's weird.
The ring light just turned off.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Here, click it.
Click. Oh, why am I always the
you're-
grabber?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
What is happening to
What is going on? Is this? Oh my
it.
god. Are we being haunted?
No, don't say that. That'll freak me out. Stop. That's good. Okay. I don't know why that happened, but it did. So then, but I'm worried about the audio coming through on here, through the computer.
I know what
Like
you mean.
when we FaceTimed,
Yeah.
you know? So like if you guys know how to work around that, let us know.
Well, I mean, I think hopefully the goal is once we have their audio and we sync it and it'll be timed together, it should be. But I don't know. We'll do a test run. We can do like before we bring in the guests, I'll be like, let's just practice recording with a microphone and see what happens.
You would have to take one home
Yeah.
and we could do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But do you have a computer you could Zoom on
I
your
do.
house?
I have one.
for our test run?
Yeah. It's not pretty, but I have one.
Okay. Yeah, I would love that because that would open up so many more opportunities. We could Zoom other people too.
Mm-hmm.
I could be like, "Hey, Broadway.
Hey,
Would you like to be
Broadway.
on the couch."
Come chat with us.
Yeah.
So-
We might run into issues there, though. Imagine we're interviewing someone on Broadway, like from Wicked, and we're like, "Welcome back to Harping on the Past," and they're like, "Is that trademarked?"
No, it's not. We looked into it. We're fine.
Did we look into it?
Yeah, at least I did.
Oh, okay, then we're fine.
As far as I know, I think we're
I
good.
definitely did not look into that. I literally said, "Perfect name, let's do it."
Yeah, who cares?
Did you come prepared today with a fired?
I did. I did.
Perfect.
Which I could go first,
Sure.
I guess. And this is going to be a crazy topic because we've kind of talked about it before. But I'm just bringing it up again because I'm kind of petty right now.
Should I be nervous?
No.
Is it going to make me nervous?
Maybe.
Oh, no. Okay.
So I'm getting fired just because, I'm being ghosted.
You're being ghosted?
Yeah.
By who?
By the companies or whoever I'm auditioning for.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd much rather get a breakup email than be ghosted.
Right. And so I mean we've
I think I understand why you're saying this might make me
Yes.
sad, but I'm fine.
we've chosen this life of theater. And with it comes a lot of rejection, and that is totally understandable. I get it. It's gonna happen. I've auditioned for more shows than I've actually booked. Like, that's just the
Sure,
reality.
yeah.
But so recently I saw one of the actors who I auditioned with announce that he is being cast in this show. The company, I don't think, has announced their cast list yet, but that whole thing,
The saga that we have talked about on here,
yes,
it just continues to
it
continue.
continues, and there's so much more to this now, and I'm like, I gotta get this off my chest because like it's so frustrating. So I'm not gonna say people can probably figure it out if you guys want to dive back into old podcasts. I'm sure we've talked about it before, but
I don't think we've ever said the name of the show.
for the sake of this podcast, I won't say the company or the people who are in charge of running this company. I will.
I think that's probably a safe.
Yeah, I think I can say what the show is though,
If you want.
because I'm just saying, I'm fine with saying what the show is.
Okay.
So I auditioned for Singing in the Rain,
I did as well.
and we both received callback emails for this show. Mm-hmm. And then Sheradyn received an oopsie email.
Oops, you're not actually called back.
So that was the first problem that we had.
And we said, strike one.
Strike
not
one.
Doing good.
Not very good. I went to the callback, did the callback, got dismissed, thought, okay, that's it, we're done. However, before I left, they were like, okay, so we are dismissing some of you guys, but we are going to, let you guys know what's going on after. So I did eventually, I got another email saying that we are looking forward to seeing another set of callbacks. We'll let you know. And then didn't hear anything after that. Mm-hmm. And then right before Thanksgiving, got another email saying, we are so sorry for the lack of communication. We should have something more set in stone after the holidays. Then I heard nothing.
Radio silence.
Radio silent. So I was like, well, what's going on with that? So I don't know. And then we went to a different audition and ran into people who I saw at that audition who told me that this company had informed equity actors and everyone else kind of was just shoved to the side and no one had heard anything.
Which, like, if you're going to do that, go ahead. But, like,
of course,
make it known at the beginning that you're just looking for equity.
Exactly. Or, like, it's not even that, like, I didn't get cast in the show. It's how they were like, we're going to communicate with you and let you know what's going on. And that just never happened.
I have a big issue with people saying they're going to do something and then not following
And then they
through.
don't.
In all aspects of my life.
Yeah. But then I have talked to other people who were involved with this production company, and they were like, oh, this whole thing has kind of been a mess because now they can't get actors in for the show because they're being offered contracts other places. And so
also
now
people talk.
And people talk.
And the way that it had all happened was not great.
And then I ran into other fellow friends and actors who, during one of my tech rehearsals, told me that they had a callback for this show and were going to that callback that same night. And I was like, well, that's crazy, because me and some of my other fellow actors who had auditioned didn't hear anything when we told we were going to. So I think, yeah, it's really unfortunate that, this could be such a great company and the communication for this whole thing has been awful.
Yeah.
Terrible.
100%.
So that's why I'm not getting cast, because it's just the truth. Getting ghosted.
And it happens far too often.
Way too often.
Like, just say, hey, it's not you.
I also have a pet peeve, though, because I've been to a couple auditions where their audition information just doesn't seem to be enough.
Yeah, and then you feel like you're underprepared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe it's a good thing I didn't get cast in this show, but, like, I'm also, like, trying to, like, build my resume and get out there more. So, like, I'm gonna still submit to things, but
yeah, for sure.
So frustrating when, like the instructions are so vague and they'll be like, we'll let you know about this, but, like, they don't tell you.
But then they don't.
Everything. And I did email a company and, like, asked, I was like, so I'm confused about the instructions because it said submit by this day, but then an in-person audition is this day, and then there's callbacks this day. I was like, so do you still show up?
Yeah.
To in person? And they were like, no, like, we saw your stuff and we're good. We don't need to see you. And I was like, okay, cool.
Ooh. While we're talking about, like, theaters that aren't doing a great job and not naming those, can I name some theaters that I think are doing a great job?
Of course.
Onstage Playhouse is incredible. And the director that works there, I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
And I had the best audition experience for a show there. And I just want to say, he's not listening, but, like, thank you. Like,
yeah.
and you got to meet him.
I did.
he just makes everyone feel so welcome.
Yeah.
And I think that that is something that a lot of places need to start adopting, instead of like, we're on this side of the table, you're on that side of the table. I think that we need to start moving into the direction of like, we're all in this together,
Right.
and it's an inclusive environment, because I literally never felt so safe in an audition room in my life.
Yeah.
And they're doing great. And I also had a really lovely audition experience with SDMT
Yeah.
down there for Xanadu. Like, I didn't get it, but man, it was a great bunch of people that they called back. Their whole creative team for that show was wonderful, and they made you feel really good. Well, that's the thing. Like, they also were so professional, but I also felt very safe in that room. And I just wanted to shout out both of them because they're doing a great job.
And I mean, this to me, like the example that I just gave, is one of the rare instances.
Well,
like, for me at least, I feel like I've auditioned for a lot of things where usually they tell you no on the spot. At least for me, when I've auditioned professionally, and I've figured out that, like, okay, yeah, like, I'm dismissed, I'm good, thank you, we don't need to see anything else from you. And most of the auditions I've had that were professional.
I feel like that only happens at a callback. Of like the, thanks, you're good, is that a callback. But like at an audition, I don't think I've ever been yes, no. I think it's always been later.
No, I think
through an email.
At Moonlight.
I've never gotten,
They always,
You're
like,
right.
you do your thing, and then
they say there who gets a callback. You're right.
Well, this last year they changed it. This last year they were like, we'll send out emails. But in the past, it used to be, go wait in this room, we'll come back with papers.
And they literally said the people's name right in front of you.
Oh, yeah. And then
And you were like,
the rest of us
I'm not getting it.
walk of shamed down that hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but this last year they did emails, but
I like an email.
I appreciate an email just so I know
Yeah.
what's going on. Anyway,
Yeah.
why are you getting fired?
Me?
Yeah.
Because maybe I need to be a little bit more careful about my digital footprint, you know? There are some keyboard warriors
Oh, yes.
over on TikTok, and there's a trend going in. I'll talk about all of it. Like, I really don't care, truly. The Parade cast album just came out, and my dear friend Ben Platt.
Yes, because we're best
My
friends
best
with Ben Platt.
No, Ben Platt is playing Leo Frank.
Yes.
And I'll give it to you. Like, give it to them. The show is about the lynching of a Jewish man who was falsely accused of a crime.
Yes.
Okay? That's the storyline. And there's like a lot that goes into it. I've never seen the show. I've only heard the music, but that's the storyline. I'm aware of it. I know, you know. There's a song called This Is Not Over Yet that Ben Platt sings as Leo Frank in Act 2. I want to say it's an 11 o'clock number. It's like the hitter in Act 2, right? Like, he's just found out he's in jail.
Right.
He has just found out that his wife has been fighting for his rights while he's been in jail. And she's like, they're going to reopen your case. This man thought he was going to die in jail. And he finds out his case is getting reopened. So he's like, oh my gosh, like, this isn't over yet. Like, thank God for my wife. This is amazing. From what I've heard, it is a very somber show.
Right.
But this one song is a very joyous occasion. And it's very like, holy crap. Like, I can't believe this is happening. This is amazing. I'm so happy. Look at my wife and what an incredible person she is. And when I tell you that Jason Robert Brown wrote a bop for this song is incredible. The beat, amazing. The Ben sounds great. And so on TikTok, there has been a trend of people shaking their butakamisses to the song.
Right.
Right? Because it's like dun 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 dun. Like, it's, you can't help
It's
but
a very
dance.
upbeat,
It's a good song.
fast moving
And
song.
so, Jacob and I are in a video on TikTok. I might delete it. I don't think I'm going to, though. I don't know. And we shook our butakamises, butakami, to this song. And there's been a lot of people that are like, yes, girl, shake it. Yeah. And it's, how many seconds would you say it is? Maybe 10.
It's short.
Very short. But there are some people up in my comments being like, you don't even know what the show is about. Like, this is so bad that you're shaking your butt to this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, yes, I understand. But also, this is the one, like, heck yeah song in the show. So I think it's just a lot of people trying to be holier than thou, which I
Right.
get. But also, I think sometimes I'm not aware of this.
No, yeah, see, because, okay, I did this TikTok with you,
Yeah.
which I will be the first to say I'm not, as we all know, Jacob is a theater person, but Jacob is not educated in the world of Broadway.
Yeah.
I know
Also, I
nothing.
didn't tag Jacob in it, just
Yeah.
so we're all clear. Like, it's
Yes. So, I mean, I I understand things from both perspectives. I would
Me
love
too.
to know what the cast themselves thinks about the situation.
I'm so glad you said that.
Mm-hmm.
They released a video of them shaking their butts to it.
Interesting. Okay.
So, and it's funny because in the comments of that, everyone's like, "Oh, where are the keyboard warriors now?"
Right.
Because it's like, if they can do it, you're in the show.
No, I mean, I understand because we live in this world of, unfortunately, like, fortunately and unfortunately, depending on the circumstances, you know, we live in a big world of cancel culture, and we're trying, I know, as people, trying to do better and be more conscious and aware of what is appropriate, what we are talking about, what we are posting about. So I do understand that people are concerned for the Jewish community because they have faced so much, you know, many struggles and many things, and they are, unfortunately, you know, the brunt of the joke in a lot of things and in a lot of media. So I do understand why people are quick to jump to the conclusion that people are being disrespectful and think that the trend is not okay. On the flip side, the song that is being used in the trend is, like you said, this happy, joyful song, and it's a very positive moment in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, I've gone to, like, dive into it myself and figure it out for myself for a little bit too, because I still haven't seen the show, but from what I understand in that moment, it's a pretty joyful moment, and that makes me feel better knowing that the cast is jumping in on this trend too, because they are the ones who are so close and invested into the story. And is Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, is Ben Platt Jewish?
Yes.
Yes. So, okay. I think that,
Him and Michaela.
yeah, they're both Jewish actors, and I love that more than anything, that they have actual Jewish people in the roles, because I think that is so important
I do too.
for that representation. So I mean, I would apologize to anyone that I offended or for taking part of that trend, but also at the same time, I think that some, in my personal opinion, things just might be taken way out of context, or if people are trying to, you know, make something out of nothing. But, like, I don't want to say that either, because, like, I don't want to, you know, take away from anyone or make someone feel like that they're doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a very iffy topic right now.
Yeah.
I think, you know, and of course, respect the story, respect the show. And I think it's good to have that dialogue and that conversation. So I'm more than willing to have discussions and conversation with people about it, because I am not the most educated on the show. But I think that they were not the most educated on it, on the situation either. So
I feel the same way, because I was looking at comments, I was looking at, like, on other videos and, like, trying to educate myself, and it's like there's another person who's like, it's a joyous part of the show,
Right.
because these people are attacking the people who are doing it, and they're like, how dare you, you don't even know what the show's about. Why didn't you ask if I know what the show's about? Like, why are
Yes.
you just assuming? I mean, I am not Jewish, but like these people are just assuming that it's people who aren't Jewish, because there's been people that are doing
Right,
it.
that are doing the
They're
trend.
just assuming the worst in these people, and I'm like, you guys, this is a TikTok. It's not that serious.
It's not that serious.
But-
and also, like, it's just, it's also theater. Like, it's meant to be like this, you know, people want to always say that theater is this wholesome, welcoming community. And I'm like, I feel like this is just like an example of, like, people really making it the opposite of that. And that's unfortunate. So I don't know. It's a very tricky thing. I'm glad we brought it up though, but
Yeah.
You know, I think, you know, honestly, I'm more in the quiet about it at this point. I think that it's a joyful song, and I personally did not see anything wrong with the particular trend.
Neither did I. I might take the video down though. We'll
Yeah,
see.
and like I'm glad that the cast themselves don't see anything wrong with the trend, because if they found it very offensive, then I would immediately probably feel more inclined to be like,
Maybe not
don't
the
do the
space
trend.
for it.
Yeah, I'm like,
Right.
don't do the trend. But the fact that even they are like, well, yeah, you know,
Yeah, it's the girls. Literally, I'm pretty sure the people who are shaking their booties to it. One of them is the girl that dies in the show, and and she's shaking her booty during the show, and I'm like, come on, people.
it's a tricky thing. So,
Yeah.
I what I like to say is, especially on the internet, and I'm all for educating, but like also don't, let's also just not jump to conclusions on things. You know, really just think before you type and post for anything. This goes for both sides of the situation. And let's just, don't be afraid to like have a good conversation. And let's not just go straight to attacking
Right.
people. Cause like some people like did post and like I did read comments and had no idea like what the show was about. They just know the song from the trend,
Or they just know Ben.
or they just know Ben Platt, or things like that. So, like we don't need to be so negative about it. Like the trend was not, in my opinion, not created to cause harm.
Right.
So, but anyway, whew, crazy stuff.
What a day.
What a day.
Jacob, what are we talking about?
I thought long and hard about this.
My phone
First
is
of all,
blowing up. Jeez.
it's been a couple weeks since we've been back together on the couch, because I missed last week, and then the video, people didn't see us. I forgot to talk about, I wanted to talk about Oscars with you, because like that did happen, but like that's
yeah.
kind of like old news now. Like it's not really relevant. So I'm like, what else is going on? Like what else in our world is so crazy and big right now? And like
Mrs. Doubtfire's going on tour.
Mrs. Doubtfire's going on tour into the woods, coming.
No, let's talk about.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Equity actors might be going on strike.
Interesting. I
You
didn't
don't know
that.
about this?
No.
Okay, let's talk about it. Because we're talking about serious things this week. I love. There is, I want to say it's Equity and the Broadway League. The Broadway League does not want to up the per diem for people on tour.
Okay.
So when you're on tour, with a Broadway show, you get your stipend, so you get your paycheck, and you also get what's called a per diem, which is for your hotel, for meals, for stuff like that on the road.
Oh, that's so cool. I've always wondered about that for tour. I was like, so do they like all just get housed up together somewhere?
Yeah, so
or okay.
most of the time they are all given a hotel room, or I've heard, I think it was the Mean Girls tour or the Hamilton tour. You can take your per diem that you would have been paid for the hotel, and you guys can like band together and get an Airbnb in that town or something.
Okay.
What the issue is right now is that it's not enough for like a livable, it's like not a livable wage.
Right.
So there are times when people come home from their show, go to their hotel room, and there's no kitchen in their hotel room. So how are they supposed to eat? You have to go down to another floor to eat. You have to do this, you have to do that. And they're also saying there's not enough coverage backstage for the stage management team or for the swing team. If someone's in the principal cast is not able to perform, there's not enough coverage, like swing standbys, understudies.
And I'm sure too now things are even harder because theaters take COVID very, very seriously.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I feel like even now, like not having swings or understudies is not an option. Like you need to have someone who can go on. So
And the video I saw was Gavin Creel standing up and fighting for it. And I love Gavin Creel, just more reason to love him.
talented man.
He was also, I think he also said something about swings and understudies are always rehearsing, and they're not getting paid enough for all the rehearsal that they're doing. And so they might go on strike.
See, and that's always something I have wondered in the theater community, because like I love me some theater, but like I said, I don't know a lot about the inner workings of Broadway because I've never worked that
That's
level.
why he has me.
In case you're wondering, I've never done a Broadway show.
I know everyone was wondering it. They
So-
know that you're talented enough to be there.
But like
it's a shock to us all that you haven't.
I'm here to tell the people I have in fact not done Broadway.
When's the Broadway debut?
You know,
Jacob James.
Who knows? But so like that is something I've always wondered. I'm like, so wait a minute, you have these people in this show who are the leads, like they got cast as the lead, and like that's the only role that they know, right? Essentially, for the most part.
Yeah. If you're in, yeah.
So
okay. If you are a principal,
if you're a principal,
if you're a lead,
you got cast in this role. Congratulations, it's yours. You have 8 shows a week on Broadway. Congratulations.
Yes.
But if something goes wrong,
yep,
and they can't do it, or if like they're sick, or they said, hey, I'm going to visit Aunt Gladys this weekend, so I'm not going on. These people who are understudies and swings, I'm like, so wait a minute, you're telling me that these people who aren't in the show but have memorized not just one part, but sometimes like up to 4 or 5 roles in a show.
There are some swings that know 8 tracks.
8 tracks. When I did Ferryman, our male swing covered me, another IRA member, the 2 Carney boys, and the 3 Corcoran boys. So he was covering 7 roles.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
It is insane. I was about to say something else and I forgot what it was. Swings, understudies, standbys. Keep going. I forgot what I was going to say.
So I'm like, so wait a minute. I was like, did these people, like, please tell me that they get paid the same amount, or honestly, I feel like they should be paid more, because
I think they do get paid more
of all the stuff they have to do. Like, it's a lot of time to memorize like 7 roles.
I remember what I was going to say. So there are some swings that cover up to 8 tracks, and sometimes there are shows where they have to do what's called a split track. Do you know what that is?
I'm assuming where they're playing multiple characters.
Yeah, where they're covering 2 or 3 people in the same show.
Yeah. I didn't do that in an actual performance, but when I was rehearsing and we had several actors out with COVID, I split one of the characters. I was doing both parts. I was doing that one character's line and my lines. 'Cause to do the show, like, I was able to flow well enough. So I was like,
yeah,
whatever happens at the end, we'll get to that eventually. But
it's crazy.
That's wild. So I mean, but good for them for standing up for themselves, because honestly, with how things are going in this world, like, it's so expensive now, and like you can't live anywhere. Like, there's a reason why so many of us people our age are still living at home, because at least here in Southern California, like, rent is for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath starting, if you can find something good, like over 2,000, like over $2,000, 2,500, something like that. And it's so crazy. I'm like, so like everything else is getting more expensive, and like I think minimum wage is moving up, but not enough to make it where like you can live comfortably. Like, that's crazy. But good for these actors standing up for themselves.
And Gavin made a video, so did Stephanie J. Block. But Gavin's, the one that I saw today, was he was like, I want to hear your stories. If you have been on tour, if you have felt, that you didn't have a voice, email me and I will read your story without like saying who you are, because he wants to give a voice to the people who don't feel like they have one. And I just think such a beacon in the theater world, honestly. Like, he's a gem. He is such a professional. And he also made it very clear that they, while they were the ones talking about it, they were not talking about their producers or their team, because they have been doing a really good job to keep their actors safe, and to, they've been really listening to what they have to say. I don't know if it's the same on all the tours, but we've just been hearing a lot from Into the Woods.
I mean, like, I'm not an equity actor.
Neither am I.
But when I was last minute asked, because I was not originally considered a swing or an understudy for another character in the show, when the topic came up for our backup plan, and I said yes, then they told me, they were like, okay, so make sure that at some point you can clock in extra at home for a few hours because now you have to learn another part. And that was very cool of them
That's
to give me
awesome.
extra hours to work on a character. Because they could have just been like, yeah, just when you're not on stage, learn the role. But they were like, no, like, you come to rehearsal, do what you do. But, like, also, if you get to rehearsal an hour early, instead of just hanging around, clock in. And you can take that time for you to learn your other character. So
Wow.
it's very cool to know, like, that there are, that in some capacities that's being taken care of. But I'm glad that people are speaking up and, making it better. Because, I mean, the goal is, at least for me, I would love to be equity one day. One day down the line. We'll
Well,
see.
right now, it used to be you had to get enough points.
Right.
Now you can just pay
Ooh,
and you can get your equity card.
I much rather would. Because here's the thing, too, for new actors, because depending on where you're at, we're more San Diego based. Because some shows are only non-union, non-equity. So I would like to still not to be non-equity to, like, build more experience before, like, changing that. Because, like, it's hard once you're an equity actor. Like, you do limit yourself in other ways. So there's pros and cons.
Patty LuPone just gave up her equity card a couple months ago.
Good for Patty LuPone. She doesn't need one. She's Patty LuPone.
I know.
She's fine.
Yeah, but she gave it up because she was tired of equity.
Love
She was
that.
tired of the rules. She was tired of how they were treating her.
She's Patty LuPone.
And it's supposed to be there to freaking help
To
you
support
out.
you. Yeah.
And it's just, it hasn't been that way. So.
What did we get ourselves into? Is it too late? Can we go back? Let's go to law school. I would love to be a lawyer.
There's a girl who's going to be a bridesmaid in the wedding that I'm in this summer.
Mm-hmm.
She is in law school.
I love that.
And she's about to take her tests.
The bar? Is she going to take the bar?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God, the big one.
Dude, she's so smart.
Everything I know about law and becoming a lawyer is all thanks to the Fosters and Good Trouble.
Are you serious?
Oh my God,
All I
yeah.
know is from Legally Blonde.
All of that stuff, like, I could never do it. So much
Yeah.
respect to our lawyers and educated people out there who have
yeah.
done the thing. It is tough. Like,
And she told us on the bachelorette trip, she goes, guys, I fought a ticket. And we were like, what? And she goes, oh yeah, I turned on my lawyer hat and I fought a ticket.
of course.
And she won. All in writing.
I love
Won
that.
it. And I was like, yeah, girl.
Incredible.
Yeah, she's great.
Lawyers.
Yeah, couldn't be me.
See,
I love
that's
to
the thing.
argue.
Yeah.
But I'm not smart enough to
I'm-
argue with a judge.
The thing I'm most terrified of is, because, like, once you're a lawyer, sometimes you're going to get the cases or defend the people that you don't want to defend.
Well, you can take it or you don't have to.
You don't have to. But I mean, also, like, you need to get,
And they had the moolah.
you need money. Like, you spent all that money on school. Like, you got.
Jacob,
Yeah.
have you ever been in jury duty?
I have not been in jury duty. I have not.
It's terrifying.
The first time I was summoned, and actually was summoned, I went to the courthouse? What is it? The courthouse. I went to the courthouse.
The Justice Center.
The Justice Center. And that was the first day of our spring semester of classes. So
you couldn't go.
I went there and was like, hey, because, like, I know they dismiss some people. I was like, this is my first day of class. And if I'm not there, because
I'm gonna get dropped.
they'll drop you. Like, there are people on wait lists waiting to get into this class. So they were like, oh, okay, yeah. So they're like, we'll postpone you.
Look at that top thing.
Oh,
Perfect.
perfect. We won't talk about that on here.
I just wanted to
But so I talked to the people there. We'll postpone you. You'll come back in another day and you'll do your jury duty. So that's what I did. And then the second one finally came and I never got summoned. And I missed one too one time.
Well, I've been summoned.
You have.
I've been summoned a couple times.
You've told me this story and it blows my mind.
Well, the first couple times, I was placed on standby, so it was like
Of course.
call every day. You get your
You get your little envelope thingy. They're like, here's your thing. Call to figure out if you're going to
Yeah, but,
actually
like,
go
but if you're on standby, you literally just call every day, and you
to
don't
save
have to
yours.
go again for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's great. Sorry.
So weird.
Okay, what were we talking
We
about?
just played with technical things. We were
Yeah.
talking about court, jury duty.
Jury duty. Yes. Okay. So I was used to just having to call.
Mm-hmm.
Having to call every week, every
Every
day.
week.
Yeah. And then I got actually summoned. Okay. And I was like, I'm going to go. I work in the school district. I get paid to go. And let's be real, I love juicy hot gossip. I love small town juicy hot gossip. And what's more juicy hot gossip than going to court? Okay? So I go. It's a lot of waiting around, a lot of people late, a lot of all that. And then they were like, oh, if you can't come this day, this day, this day, just tell us and we'll let you go.
Mm-hmm.
They give you so many outs, Jacob. So many outs. And I was like, I want to know what the heck this case is. So,
Remind me, because, yeah, you wanted to know what the case was,
mm-hmm.
but you had your out. And for some reason, you didn't take it. And then you ended up going, but then you ended up leaving.
Because listen, this is what happened. They they gave us an out. I could have had the out, but I wanted to read the paper. Okay? So they gave me the paper, and I wanted to know what the case was. And then they were like, come back tomorrow. And I was like, all right. So I did. Right?
Right.
Wasn't it the next day?
It was something like that. I don't remember,
It was
but
the next day. And we had to go into the courtroom. When I tell you I've never had so much anxiety in my entire life, I was terrified. And I was like, I need to tell the judge I have anxiety. I can't do this. I didn't know what the questions were going to be. This was before they even chose a jury. And I was like, I'm going to pass out. Like, I've never been so scared in my entire life.
mm-hmm.
It wasn't the case that was scary. I think I was just scared of actually getting chosen.
So, wait, I thought you had something else going. Was it just you didn't want to miss work or something?
Oh, yeah, I didn't want to miss work.
Okay, because I was like, I thought there was a reason
No,
as
there
to
was
why
a reason.
you didn't, like, you were like, if I go, then I can't do this or something.
I think I had a therapy appointment.
Oh.
And then I had to talk to the judge, you guys. I literally had to talk to him.
I would have never let it have gone that far.
You know, I don't know why I did. It was terrifying. I sat there. It was just me, the judge, the bailiff, and the two lawyers. And I was like, oh my God. And I had to go into the jury box. He was like, yes, Miss Laro. And I was like, I have a therapy appointment that I can't move. And I also just have really bad anxiety. And he goes, lawyers, I'm sorry. I would have let her go on hardship before this. Do you guys have an issue? And they were like, nope, nope. And I was like, thank you. He's like, you're dismissed. And I was like, I like ran out of there. I was so scared.
It's been, see, now I'm getting paranoid. I'm like, I should probably check the mail. Because I did miss a jury summons once. And I was actually summoned, like, not even standby. They're like, you missed it. Now you gotta, we're gonna postpone you again. And the same thing happened. That trial ended up getting canceled or something. And so I didn't have to go. So I've never been.
Do you want to know how they found me?
How?
I was trying to get a new license.
Oh.
And they told us while we were there, they said, yeah, if you ever want to know how we find you, we go on the DMV website. And that's how we get people.
See, I don't think I'd ever gotten a jury duty summons until I had registered to vote. And then
well, yeah, that also too. But
then I got summoned.
When you've been going for a while.
Anyway.
What else were we going to talk about?
Before Sheradyn had interrupted me yet again earlier, because you wanted to talk about equity actors, because I was going to jump into something, and then you're like, we should talk about this. And I was like, that works too.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. That was a great topic. I loved it. Sheradyn, I have a question for you. Because this has been, I was like, what can we talk about? What's going on in the world? And something I am such a huge fan of is coming back to the light. And I am talking about the Hunger Games.
My God.
And
Yeah.
first of all, I love the Hunger Games. I remember when the movies came out, it was 2012. We were in a production of Thoroughly Modern Millie, and everyone and their mama was reading these books.
Not me.
Oh, I wanted to read them. I remember like seeing everyone was like reading them in rehearsal. The new movie was coming out, and one of the cast members after our show was like, "Oh, I'm going to the movies right now to go see the movie." And I was so jealous because like I knew nothing about it, but I wanted to be a part of the hype train. And then I finally was. I read the books and was a big fan. Saw all the movies. Went to all the Thursday night shows. And I'm so excited because there's a new movie coming out in November, which is a prequel. And I read that book. The book came out in 2020.
What's it called?
It's called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
You know who's in it?
Yes, I do.
Rachel Zegler.
Rachel Zegler. Hunter Schafer is in it, playing Tigress. And honestly, I know there's more big names in there that I don't know off the top of my head right now, but I'm very excited. Sheradyn, the reason why I bring this up, though, is because I need to know. I heard there were rumors about drama kids who used to play a version of the Hunger Games, and several things
Jacob,
ran through my head.
This is dirty. Jacob, this is mean because you know damn well what the answer is right now, and you know damn well I was a part of it, and you're trying to out me and make me look stupid.
I'm so fascinated because first of all, I am jealous because that sounds incredible. And then what also makes me think about this is because at the time I was still in middle school, so I'm like, the fact that there were these high school seniors playing Hunger Games. I want to know all the things. What was this about? I want to know.
I've never felt so called out in my life.
Also, for the people watching and listening, I am wearing my Mockingjay pendant because I knew I wanted to talk about some Hunger Games
I'm
things.
red. Look at me, I'm red.
So wait, so this is true because I don't know the full story. I've only heard like whisperings of things like, oh yeah, we're playing Hunger Games this weekend.
Yes, Your Honor. I was a part of that group. And let it be known. I think we only played it once.
Only one time? I feel like, okay, I thought there were more times, but maybe that one time was just infamous.
Maybe I wasn't invited to the other times.
So wait a minute. How did this work?
We had a friend. And he was like, we should play it for real. I was like, now what in the Sam heck does that mean? I'm not trying to die. He was like, no. There was this is so embarrassing. There was like a dirt area with like mountains of dirt. There was like a creek. There were trees.
Do you know where this is?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I want to see this infamous Hunger Games arena.
Okay. And we all started in a circle.
Of course.
We made alliances. We ran around. We hid in trees.
Did you guys have weapons?
Yeah.
Wait.
I think.
Wait.
I'm pretty sure we had sticks.
Sticks?
And I'm pretty sure the way that you died was if someone hit you with like a pool noodle. I think that's what we had.
What?
I think. I could be wrong. I know there's someone that listens to this that has got to have more answers. Because she was there also.
I need all the tea on this.
Oh my
Because,
God.
I mean, you know, like, someone who, like, at my age, I was either 8th grade or freshman. And so it's like, I'm like, okay, like, clearly.
Should I see if she can answer the phone right now? And
I
ask her if
don't
she
know.
knows?
That's so funny.
Oh, man.
I think what really just blew my mind more than anything was, like, this friend who I know who was coordinating this.
You know who it is?
At least I think I know who it is. who was like, we should play Hunger Games, was definitely a high school senior or junior at the time. So like,
Junior, yeah.
that's crazy. I'm like, you devised your own Hunger Games?
I think he had played it before
That's interesting.
with like cousins or something or other friends.
Because I mean, I've taken my share of the fake battles. I've had Nerf fights, airsoft wars.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I have a picture of it on my Instagram. Let me see if there were pool noodles. Let me
My
look.
goodness, this is insane. So the point of the story is, I can we like recreate this? We should
No.
find some
No.
like theater people
No.
and make make a new version
Jacob, I
of your
simply will
Hunger
not
Games.
be there.
Why not?
My invitation will be lost in the mail. I will not.
Why?
Jacob, I've never been so embarrassed in my life.
It sounds so fun.
It was fun.
See, hold on. What if I provided, because I have an arena.
Where?
I know my great grandma property is huge. That's private property.
Okay.
We could go there. Like, we don't have to worry about the public seeing us.
Okay.
Like, I would love to get like a couple of vans of people and just play the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would track if
Oh.
someone died though, but
There it is.
you do have a picture.
There it is. Do you see the pool noodle on the ground?
Yeah, so that's how. Okay. Wow. I won't
Zoom
show.
in on who you think was the organizer.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep, right there.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of. This is all drama kids.
We
There are
were
some
told
people.
that we had to wear t-shirt, jeans, and closed-toed shoes.
I'm sorry. Someone is definitely breaking the rule
Who?
because someone is wearing a tank top and shorts.
Oh yeah, that was a last-minute addition.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So you guys played the Hunger Games. Who won?
I don't know. I just remember hiding in a tree, Jacob. I think I lost pretty early on.
So you died.
Yeah, we just played Hunger Games in the forest.
Oh my
We had
god.
so much fun.
This is so.
Oh my gosh! And their cousin said, "I still have a scar from when we played it." So I told you,
So-
they played with their cousins.
At least for one person, they had played multiple times of the Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So, like, because Hunger Games, y'all volunteered because that's a big part of the movie. I volunteer as tribute. You guys literally said, "Yep, here I go."
Yes, we did.
That's. Oh no, that's amazing.
I can't believe you've outed me like
Why are you so embarrassed? I
a
think
part-
that's great.
that is simply a part of my life that I forgot about.
That you chose to like seal off.
I fully forgot that I participated.
I was wondering too, because like I was like, I know I'm gonna bring up Hunger Games. Like I wonder, because like
I was wondering where you're going with it, and I was like, okay.
yeah, I was like I know that people played it, but I didn't know for sure if you were one of them or if like you had just gone to watch. So
I was in it.
I was waiting for that confirmation.
Yeah, I played it.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm not proud of what I did.
Oh, you know, that'd be interesting. Like if they made a Hunger Games stage show. I don't think that's possible, but it'd be kind of cool.
I wouldn't be in the audience.
Why?
Jacob. A Hunger Games musical. I'm gonna kill
Not a
you.
musical. Are you kidding me?
Imagine.
I would not want to see a musical. But like, you know how Harry Potter, like they made a stage show of that. Like it is an original story. But like that'd be interesting to see like a play in the world of the Hunger Games. I don't think they could have a bow. I don't know how they would shoot someone on stage. But like,
Yeah. Well, it's also theater is evolving right now, and
This is
Life
true.
of Pi is on Broadway right now.
See,
and that lighting is insane.
So I think honestly, I feel like Hunger Games could be something that is something so like big and like Broadway. What was that?
I had a chill, and then my ear went all funny.
You went.
I'm so sorry.
Our poor viewers. Also, our poor listeners are probably like, they're just never gonna have a clean episode. We've had clean episodes
Yeah.
in terms of
We just
like
don't know what's going on. right
tech
now.
and things like that. But thank you so much for confirming that story.
Anything else you want confirmation on? I probably have it.
Listen, I personally, I don't think it's all that embarrassing. I'd be proud. I mean, I can see
No.
why, but I'd be like, hell yeah. I went out to the forest with some close drama friends of mine and stood in a circle and we
went
tried to kill
right
each other.
after school.
So backpacks and everything.
Yeah. Behind some houses.
I would have given anything to watch these games go down. I honestly too, like everyone you showed me in the picture, like I was trying to think, I'm like, who'd be the most ruthless? And like I saw one person, like, you're definitely throwing knives at people. Like I can just see it, like
Who?
in your eyes. There was I think if it's the right person I'm thinking of, a blonde girl.
Yeah.
I was like, you're definitely like a District 2 crazy girly or District 1, you know?
Yeah.
Did you guys have like, do you know the Hunger Games that well?
Kinda.
Did you guys have the career pack? Like the careers were the people from the first 2 districts and in the books District 4 that were like the strong tributes and like had alliances with each other and then
I mean,
usually
we
one of them
definitely
won.
made alliances.
Also,
I think we were all our own district, though.
oh, okay. So how many people in total did you have play?
All that was pictured.
I don't know
think
how
it
many
was
that
8.
was. So 8? Because
Let me look.
Hunger Games, it's 24 tributes at
1,
least.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 8, the person taking the picture.
Oh, they didn't want to be in the picture?
Well, there's shadows in it.
Oh, whatever. So yeah, 8 tributes.
Oh my gosh.
I love that for you guys, though. That's incredible.
I simply can't believe.
Sorry,
No,
I
that's
just, I needed to know.
Yeah. Do you have any other juicy hot gossip that you need to confirm or deny? Let's put it all on the table.
I don't think I have any other juicy hot gossip. That's honestly the biggest thing I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Hunger Games because Hunger Games is incredible. It's a great book. It's a good series.
You know, I just recently watched the first one again
I did too.
with someone, but not no mo. Yeah, and I forgot how good that movie is. I think I also fell asleep during it because it was a night I was very tired. But
This was actually the night you and Tori were doing the podcast without me. I was watching Hunger Games and I made my own charcuterie board.
Charcuterie board?
Very proud of it. It was delicious.
Delicious.
But yeah, that's what I did when you guys were recording.
Wow.
I was watching Hunger Games.
Incredible.
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 And now I'm debating if I want to read them again, because last time I read them was 2020, and they're good books.
I tried to read one and I couldn't get past a chapter.
Yeah, but you're a reader now.
I read romance.
You do read romance.
That's
Sheridan
it.
loves a good romance book.
God. Give me all the romance. I'm a hopeless romantic.
You're
Give me all the kisses. Give me all the attention. Give me all the... Oh,
a
all the I
Colleen
miss
Hoover
you.
girly.
I love you. Oh, give me all that in real life, too.
Oh, so good.
I love it.
I've only... I don't think I've really read romance novels. I read one Colleen Hoover book, but I would classify that particular
one's
one
not-
as
yeah.
more of like a thriller. It was definitely, there was romance and a lot of
a lot of
inappropriate scenes.
double eye emojis
You know, a lot of like,
and winky emojis.
lot of that. As the kids on TikTok say, that the gluck gluck and
Oh, Jacob.
what?
Jacob!
It's the truth.
Oh my God.
And so many people were reading it over my shoulder when I was in rehearsals
You're
for
like,
Ferryman.
"I
And
read
people were like, what are you reading? And I'm like, oh my God, I swear I didn't know which is true. I didn't know what the contents of the book were going to be. But yeah, there was a lot of what the Sims call the woohoo.
There's a lot of that in
That's a lot of that.
Coho's books.
You know, there's nothing wrong with
I
that.
need to read the rest of the one that I'm reading. About halfway through it.
I've read the Twilight books. Romance.
Is there a lot of woohoo?
No. Not until the last book, and we all know how that goes.
I just love reading about that stuff. I should stop. Sorry.
I just love, you know?
I do. I'm just being honest.
It's fascinating.
It is.
It's interesting.
I can talk about that for days.
It's really interesting too,
Sheradyn,
though.
you're getting fired because of your digital footprint. Be quiet.
Shut up.
Shut up. Anything else?
I think we've talked a good amount today.
I think so too. What are we
It's hard to
at?
tell because like
An
on
hour?
the video on here, yeah, we're at about an hour now.
I simply cannot believe that this turned off.
I know. Who knows what's gonna happen? We'll edit it and see what goes down. But yeah.
Wow.
Sheradyn, I love you so much.
I love you so much. I have to burp.
We should do this podcast again. You know,
I'd love to.
that'd be great. 20 episodes, you guys.
Can you believe that?
20 episodes, and we've both only done 19 of them. Whoa. Insane.
We should have just a guest pod
Just
without us.
give the mics to other people to be like, we already know who they'd be. I feel like it would be Tori and Ali Flores.
Yeah.
Our two most recurring guests would
Yeah.
handle the podcast.
I would love that.
But also, I need more non-theater people to be on this podcast too.
Uh-huh.
Because I love talking theater things, and they're just like,
They're like, I didn't know.
great. So,
Couldn't tell you.
couldn't tell you. All right, you guys. Thanks for listening to Harping on the Podcast, A Theater Kid Past.
That was good.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time
Thank you for your prayers.
in this tumultuous time.
In
You
these-
guys send me all your love. Send me all away.
Please send Sheradyn all the love.
No, literally though, like send me kind words. I need a ego boost. It's been a week.
It's been a week, which we
Almost
didn't get
tomorrow.
into. Oh, yeah. We didn't get into that. But that's okay.
No, we don't need to.
No, yeah.
We didn't get into it last time. We don't need to get into it this time.
That's right. That's
If you
right.
know, now you know.
If you know, now you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you all some
Adios,
other time.
amigos.
Happy
Easter.
Happy Easter if you guys celebrate
If
Easter.
you celebrate.
If
you and
not,
yours.
Happy Bunny Day. That sounds very inappropriate.
Happy Easter.
Stop it. Speaking of which, I have your Easter basket ready. Woohoo! I'm so excited.
It's already ready.
For the most part.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's nice.
of course. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Love you.
Goodbye.
Bye.